Hello, this is a lesson on square roots. So I'm going to try and present and hopefully I stay in the corner. Great. Okay. So square roots. A lot of people, maybe don't know exactly what a square root is doing, but they know how to use the button on their calculator and they probably have a few of them memorized, but it's important to know what's happening, how it's related to square numbers and exponents, and also, keep in mind some of these basic square root um, answers in this section here. So let's start by looking at the table. The square root of a perfect square brings you back to the original number that you've squared. It's kind of confusing, but if you look at this chart, it really makes sense. Like 1 to the power of 2 is 1. So the square root of 1 is 1. So 1 is like the easiest one, but 2 to the power of 2 is 4, of course. And if we do the square root of 4, it brings us back to that original number that we were squaring, which is 2. Okay, so these are the basic ones you need to know. I've put some in your guided notes, so you need to look at those. And you could copy them from here, but you have to have these ones memorized at least until 121, which is 11 squared. You can't see it over here, but these basic ones are the most important. Okay, and this is the relationship. I just use symbols instead of letters or numbers or whatever because the square root of this thing gives you a number. And then if you took that number and squared it, you would be back at the original thing that you had in the square root. So these are opposites of each other. They undo squaring. Okay, it's like when you add something and subtract, those are opposites. Multiply and divide, those are opposites. Squaring and square rooting are opposites. They bring you back to the original thing. So that's square roots in a nutshell. You could take the square root of any number. So like 42, it's not in this list here. You notice that 36 is, 49 is, those are perfect squares, but 42 is not a perfect square. So when you do the square root of 42 on your calculator, you get this number, 6.48074, which really is saying if you took 6.48074 and multiplied it by itself, so 6.48 times 6.48 or 6.48074 squared, you would get 48. It would bring you, 48. What a typo. Maybe you can see the typo should be 42. Sorry. You would get 42. Okay, so squaring and square rooting are opposites, and you can do that for any number. You'll just get a decimal if it's not a perfect square. And on your keyboard, you can do the square root symbol very easily. So if you're typing in a puzzle or something, if you press Option, the Option key is in the bottom left corner of your keyboard. Option and then V, you will get this little check mark. Okay, it doesn't have the roof over it, but still better than typing square root using regular letters. You can actually just use the square root symbol. Okay, so Option and V will get you the square root symbol. Okay, thank you and good luck.